So there's other elements of this. There's other elements of this. I mean, we basically have one-party rule in the United States of America. We have one-party rule. Democrats are basically Republicans. Republicans are extremist social Darwinists. But the Democratic Party is awful. The Republican Party is awful. But the bottom line is this. You are putting a nominee, they're going to probably confirm him on Saturday, for a lifetime appointment. They are not they did not talk to dozens of other people. So this has the potential, when the Republicans ram his nomination through, which I predict is going to happen on Saturday. I predict that Jeff Flake is going to vote for him. I predict that Susan Collins is going to vote for him. I predict that Lisa Murkowski will not vote for him. With that said, well, you have all these other people that weren't heard by the FBI. What's going to happen when they start coming out to the media and start telling their stories that possibly corroborate it? What are you going to do then? You're going to have a Supreme Court judge going in there with a media circus of other people that tried to be contacted by the FBI, that tried to speak to the FBI, that were never contacted? So then you're literally going to have more controversy, more scandal surrounding Brett Kavanaugh. And unfortunately, we don't have a real opposition party. The Democratic Party is not a real opposition party. So you already have Nancy Pelosi saying, well, if he is confirmed, we're not thinking of impeachment processes. Because the Democratic Party, by the way, I saw Michael Moore's new movie last night, Fahrenheit 11/9, and you really need to see it. It was one of the best movies I've seen from him, and I've seen political documentaries, period. It was amazing. And there's one part where he literally splices together, like, a minute straight of just Democratic Party officials using the word compromise and how much the Democratic Party compromises. Not for us, for their donors. Not for us, for their donors. But Nancy Pelosi already saying, oh, we're not going to impeach. We're not going to impeach him. What's the point of having an opposition party? So basically, 5-day investigation when you could have had 7. Didn't talk to dozens of people that could corroborate. We have no idea what Mark Judge said. They did not even interview Christine Ford, saying, oh, well, she spoke under oath. She spoke at the congressional committee, so we don't need to interview her. Didn't interview Brett Kavanaugh. What kind of investigation doesn't interview the main person accused? The main person accused. And the... hold on one second. The main person accused and the main accuser. It makes no sense. It makes no sense. I mean, I gotta tell you. I think Brett Kavanaugh is a ticking time bomb. Because I think that the bottom line is this. There's a strong, strong possibility that there are other women that are waiting in the wings to possibly come forward against him. Maybe not for sexual assault, but inappropriate behavior, sexual harassment, whatever. There's a strong possibility that that's going to come out after he is confirmed. And there's a strong possibility that knowing Donald Trump, repeat the lie, repeat the lie, repeat the lie, repeat the lie, knowing the Republican Party that simply lives in fear of Donald Trump and doesn't give a damn, does not give a damn, they're basically just going to pretend that it's not happening, and we're possibly going to have a sexual predator on the Supreme Court to then vote on things like Roe versus Wade, possibly, equal pay for women, workplace rights. Tell me what you think in the super chat. Again, it's a super chat. I got to tell you, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised at all because this is the Republican Party. This is Donald Trump. Donald Trump is now, first Donald Trump said it was the Mexicans and the Muslims. Now he's dividing it men versus women. I don't know if you heard him, but he put out a potential new hashtag he too. So Donald Trump is now apparently the main victims, the main people that we need to worry about are men in society being falsely accused. And if I'm keeping it real, because I always keep it real, I know what that is like. every situation is different. So my situation is not a uniform thing for every other situation. I am inclined, when a woman comes out and makes an accusation, I'm inclined to believe her. And then I want to see the facts. Then I want to know who was involved. I want to see the evidence. That is a fair process, both to the woman and to the man. Or if it's vice versa. Sometimes it's a man accusing a man. But Donald Trump is now creating it's not even a culture war, it's a gender war. I mean, his rally in Mississippi, besides looking like a Klan rally, where he mocked Christine Ford, oh, she had one beer, which was, I mean, just when you think Trump could kind of like, there is no bottom, there's a basement. Sydney, hi. She said, hi, Jordan. SVR 2011 says, my wife and I are glad we live in Canada. I got to tell you, I told my business partner Jen yesterday after this Michael Moore movie, what the hell are we doing here? We got to get out of this country. I sometimes feel that way, but I will not leave. We have too much corruption to fight here. Dr. Winston O'Boogle, the FBI is not a friend to the right or left. Cheryl, hi, Jordan. Endo, Trump hates anyone in his way of his ego. That's true. But it is really, really astounding to me. And the bottom line is, we're looking at a potential. This man gets confirmed. You might have protests outside of the Supreme Court every single day that they have a ruling. You might have protests outside the chambers of the Supreme Court when they're hearing from attorneys. You literally have the potential of the darkest cloud. You think Clarence Thomas was bad 20-something years ago? You haven't seen anything yet. And by the way, I don't believe Judge Brett Kavanaugh. I believe the two women. I've looked into it, and I believe the two women. But I do think he is entitled to a fair process. But this has been a tilted process in favor of him, not fair to anyone. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. And by the way, just a separate note, it's very comical to see the Democrats who love the FBI, love the FBI, when it comes to propaganda about Russia and creating the new Cold War 2.0. They love that. But when it doesn't suit them, the FBI is terrible. This is a sham. Sam, I saw that. For some reason, it cut out on Facebook. Oh well. Facebook people, come to YouTube. By the way, we just passed 18,000 subscribers. This channel just launched at the end of February. We're on our way to 20,000 and beyond. So thank you to the to the subscribers. Jesus Christ. Can you tell I haven't slept? So, I want to say another thing. This is also about the corporate media. Thanks for the $5, Edwin. Thanks, Jordan. Love your work and reporting. Thank you. And I'm going to have some news about where we're thinking of going as far as reporting. If you don't know, for all 282 of you watching, which I'm super, super excited about, we launched a GoFundMe for our reporting about 3 weeks ago. And we are already at almost about to hit 7,500. Our goal is 50,000. It's definitely going to take a bit, but we're already at 7,500. Our goal is to hit 15,000 by the end of October. I am really, really encouraged that we have 141 people that have contributed. If you're not aware of it, it's all for our reporting. Ty and I want to get back in the field. My preference is to get out in the field basically now and be able to go to multiple places instead of going to one place and then popping back home. We want the funding to do that. This is not our long-term business model, but this is a way for us to get it off the ground, to get out in the field. You could contribute as much as you want or as little as you want. $100 gets you either a hat or a shirt. That would be a status quo hat or a shirt. $127 gets you both. So we've had a ton of people contribute either 100 or 127. Thank you. And even if you can't do that, $5, $10, $15, it really makes a difference. We are not an outlet that's going to be taking your money and then not doing what we say. So I, myself, and Ty will be out in the field. Hopefully, I'm going to get to that a little later, what we're looking at, but hopefully as soon as this week or next week. So I'll put the link here. The link's already in the description of this video, but I'm going to put it in the super chat too. Would love, I mean, we're almost at 7,500. Let's see if we can get to 8,000 by the end of this live stream. I believe in miracles. I do. So, what I want, and yes, if you can't contribute, just share the GoFundMe and share this video. Sharing is caring. The corporate media, like everything, like mass shootings, where they cover it for a few hours, move on. If they cover any type of finance, I mean, they literally covered a New York Times story, which was a good story, basically saying that Donald Trump got funneled over $500 million to him by his father, self-made billionaire, that his family broke all sorts of tax laws. They covered that for a day, now they move on. And this is what they're going to do with Brett Kavanaugh. So I am telling you right now, record this video, save it. They're going to ram him through. His confirmation is Saturday. They're going to ram it through. And then what's going to happen? You're going to possibly have other women coming forward. I can't get into details because the conversation was off the record, and I respect that as a journalist. But I did have a conversation the other night with a woman linked to all this. I can't really say more, but it is my belief, based on that conversation and other reporting that's been out there, that there are other women that might be coming forward. I am not just recklessly speculating. That is based on a conversation I had with a woman, as well as some other reporting. So the media, what's basically going to happen is they're going to rah-rah for the next day or two, going to say, oh, this is a sham. Then they're going to cover the hearing. Then you're going to have the Sunday morning shows that are going to say, oh, this was a sham. Oh, this was not right, blah, 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 blah. And then they're going to move on. They're not going to actually, like, keep trying to find accusers. They're not actually going to go try themselves. If the FBI won't speak with these other people, the media is certainly not going to do it. Thank you, Triana Be Fine, for the $10 in the super chat. Kavanaugh was chosen because he comes from privilege and will rule for the privilege. I agree. I also think he was chosen because he has been outwardly saying the president cannot be prosecuted. And he says the executive office has unprecedented powers that they cannot be, the executive, meaning the president, cannot be prosecuted. I think that's a big reason why Trump wanted him. And because he's written in the past that to him, Roe versus Wade, there is still some legal arguments out there. It's not, totally solid and concluded law. Sydney says, considering the smears and death threats, who wouldn't want to go public? There's a lot of people who don't want to go public because of the smears and death threats. Ron says, do what? There's no given time. There's no given place. The number of people are unknown. That's not true, Ron. There's dozens of people that the media are saying have actually reached out already unsolicited to the FBI saying, we want to be contacted. And there is time. They concluded it in 5 days. They were issued 7 days. A lot could be done in 48 hours. Now, if the FBI would have done this for 7 days, would have contacted, 20 people. Right now it's about 9 or 10 they contacted and spoke to. And then said at the end, hey, we only had 7 days. This is what we were given by the Senate Judiciary Committee and the president. That's one thing. But they did not follow and push this for the full 7 days. There's no reason, if you have 2 extra days, to not take those 2 extra days if you're really looking for the truth, if you're really trying to exhaust every single lead, if you're really trying to get information from every single person that could possibly corroborate these accusers' stories or possibly, not discredit it. There's no reason not to do that unless you have shackles on you from Trump and from the White House, which I think is quite possible. It's pretty disgusting. I think, I don't want to speak as a woman. Obviously, I'm not. But I think it's honestly a real slap in the face to women. I think it's a real slap into the face of victims, because it basically, like those 2 brave women in the elevator that confronted Senator Jeff Flake, it basically, to me, tells women, even if you come forward, even if you are courageous and come forward, the deck is stacked against you, and powerful men will continue on to their next step up the ladder, because that's the way the system is built. Thank you, Yadira Ramirez. I stopped donating to TYT to support status quo. I won't get into my old network, but thank you for supporting us. I can't thank you enough, Yadira. Thanks so much. So, I honestly, I mean, I could go on for this on and on. I mean, I have friends that have been our victims. Our Jen, my business partner at Status Quo, as well as one of our journalists, has been open that she has been a victim of an assault. And I know a lot, not a lot, but I do know some women that have been victims. And you cannot say you had a real investigation. You cannot say you're looking for the truth. And then take 5 days, speak with 9 or 10 people, and just ignore so many other people. Sorry. Michael Riddle, weren't you accused of sexual misconduct? I indeed was. I addressed that a couple months ago. It was false. That's all I could say. And fortunately, the people that looked into it came to that conclusion. So it's a very difficult time in my life, but I also like to say my situation has no bearing on the overall movement. In the Me Too movement, I tend to believe that most women are being honest and are, telling the truth. I do believe in each situation. Every situation is different, so we can't just say total blanket like I believe women no matter what. No, we need to look at the facts. But I am inclined to believe a woman if she makes an accusation, and then I'm going to look at the facts. I think that's the way to do it. You want to respect any woman that comes forward with an accusation, and then say, we want to see who was involved, what were the contexts, what were the dynamics, what were the specifics, and all that. But hey, I'm not going to run away from the fact that yes, there was an accusation against me, and thankfully, the majority of people that actually looked at the facts and looked into it realized that it wasn't true.